Hello and welcome to another lovely edition of the Techpedition Podcast. I'm Kerry Brown and I'm joined by my brother Clarence. How's it going, man?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Glad to be on.
How was Pensacon?
Pensacon, man. You know what? I had a lot of fun. Met a few celebrities, went to a few parties, and it was fun. It was fun. We had a good time. Just kind of covering the con and meeting new people and checking out the scene down there in Pensacola. It was a fun time, man.
Good deal.
What about you, man? What have you been up to, sir?
Just been making a little music here and there.
Making intros.
Learning my new setup. I hope you guys like the intro I made you.
Oh man, love it, dude. Love it. I'm sure you'll be hearing it soon on a Discussing Comics Near You.
Right on. Cool. So, shall we jump to it?
Yeah, let's see what we got, man.
Okay, so first off, in news that may be shocking to you, it's a bit shocking to me, Microsoft has started selling Lumia Windows phones again.
Why?
Exactly. Through their online store. They removed them back in June. And basically, when they removed them in June, the HP Elite X3 and the Alcatel Idol 4S were the only two Windows phones they were selling on the store. But I guess they have some backstock or whatnot. So I guess they're looking to get rid of them. Microsoft actually admitted Windows Phone was dead in October. So this is a bit puzzling.
Backstock, they're trying to, clear out what they have left. I don't like these prices since we know this is a dead platform. It should be like fire sale prices.
Be like those HP tablets were back in the day, like $100 or cheaper.
Yeah, but this looks a bit pricey. I don't know.
Yeah, for $950 you could get a OnePlus or something. I would not. Yeah, even though I really liked this, I liked past tense the design of the 950. The software support sucked. So, but it really is a nice phone. So it's kind of sad to see it die.
Yeah, it is. But I think we've kind of settled on as far as platforms go, pretty much Android and iOS are the king of the hill.
But that's true.
Yeah. So, Microsoft bought what was formerly known as Nokia and turned it into this whole Lumia line that we see is now dead. But Nokia, rights expired and Nokia got their name back. And actually they started another phone division and they're bringing some classics back. I think what is Mobile World Congress is going on right now?
Yeah, I believe so.
They unveiled a slew of smartphones that running Android and starting at $85. But I think the most notable of these phones is they have the Matrix, the phone from Matrix the movie. They're releasing it again, which I think is really cool.
They've released it before?
I think they have. Back in the day. Don't let me lie on here, but but I think.
So which one is the Matrix phone? The Sirocco?
We'll drop the link in the show notes, but if you look at that picture, I think it's the yellow one, the candy bar looking one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they're releasing it and these all are updated, innards, but you're not going to be playing no games on them. I mean, you probably could, but it's just not the same. They're feature smartphones. They're not like, a full-fledged Android. And some of these are, that's just the old candy bar ones are not going to have all the bells and whistles, but cool nonetheless, I think.
Yeah, I really like the banana phone. Myself rocking one of those. Maybe not, but it looks cool. All right. So what's this next story about Amazon?
Amazon are opening more of their cashierless Amazon Go stores. Later this year, new futuristic convenience stores could appear in Seattle and Los Angeles. I think the first one already is in Seattle, but they're opening more there, as well as I think one in LA, which is really cool. I would really like to visit one of these stores because just the concept of it sounds impossible, but it looks like they're expanding just a little bit. I know the first store was like a trial run or a beta run, but seems like it's working. So that's cool.
Oh yeah. I hope they get one Kansas City soon. I will definitely be visiting it. Hopefully, it won't be a line like the Seattle one was.
I'm sure there will be, man. But I think it's an excellent concept. If tracking is good enough to where, I'm not sure if it's all camera tracking or is it camera, plate sensor, and some other thing they're doing, but whatever they're doing seems to be working. Just really cool tech, and I think it's the future, and they're at the forefront here.
So, can you not go in the store if you don't have an Amazon account?
You know what? I'm looking at this picture, and again, we haven't seen one personally, but I think it's more so like you scan your app, or you bring up the app and log in with the app or something like that to get in. So yeah, you have to be an Amazon customer to actually get in the store. Now,
okay, that's all.
Yes, yeah. I mean, so how they gate that, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you probably could follow somebody in if you were devious enough. But that being said, it's not like it's a totally empty store. You do have people working there and stocking, or whatnot, a small crew, but they're just not cashiers there. So it's not like it's totally empty.
Looks like in the picture there's a people greeter with an Amazon shirt on and a security guard in the background, maybe?
That does look like a security guard. Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like they're not just completely personless. That when you hear cashierless, you think that there's nobody in the store, but like you were saying earlier, they still have to have people in there.
Yeah, but think of the concept of you just walking in a Walmart, grabbing your stuff, not having to talk to anybody, but just walk out with your stuff. I think that's a crazy, awesome notion, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if Walmart will be able to do this because with the sheer volume of things that they sell, and I guess they could. It would just be really, really difficult.
Yeah. A seemingly uncontrollable environment.
Okay, so it looks like Airbnb is going to have a hotel service. What?
Yeah, so they are starting a premium service. Just to read the byline, the company is also recognizing boutique hotels, bed and breakfasts, and vacation homes on its platform. So basically what Airbnb Plus is going to be is just more like a premium version of Airbnb, to where there is a certain list of criteria that each of the Plus locations has to have. They have to be from Airbnbs that have a certain star rating. And also, I think they're also personally vetted by a member of Airbnb. So having stayed in my first Airbnb this weekend, I can see the need for this, because Airbnbs range from sleeping on somebody's couch in their home while they're still there to getting a whole apartment for the weekend while they're gone or away. And it even ranges to people who all they do is rent their locations as Airbnbs. So as far as the scale of what an Airbnb is, I think there's a wide range, and you have to be kind of cautious about what you're getting. You have to research it, look at the star rating, look at location to make sure it looks safe and not shady. So the notion of having one that is very much a premium service or a plus service, to where if you get this version of an Airbnb, you're going to have a base level of amenities and comfort when you sign up for it. So I think that's a good notion.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's more of the cream rising to the top, so to speak.
Yeah, certainly. It looks like it's going to be 2,000 listens across 13 cities, including Austin, Barcelona, Cape Town, Chicago, Los Angeles, London, Melbourne, Milan, Rome, San Francisco, Shanghai, Sydney, and Toronto. So yeah, I think they're going to be a bit more expensive, which makes sense. I think these are going to range around 200 a night, where the average Airbnb ranges around 100 for a standard listing. So yeah, premium, but again, a base level of service quality and amenities that you're going to get. So, I think it's cool.
Cool. So if you don't mind me asking, how was your Airbnb experience this past weekend?
Oh man, you know what? We did a whole house
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Really?
not like it was a huge house, but it was a house with three bedroom house that could house up to 7 people. So I know when I initially signed up, the guy over it emailed me because within the app they can email you pretty easily, and that's the whole point of it, to kind of make it more personal as possible. And he was asking me, okay, how old is the group you're bringing, and what are you coming for? Because they don't want people coming and destroying stuff and causing a ruckus in the neighborhood. So they asked a baseline of questions, and as far as that goes, the guy who I talked to was real cool or whatever. This particular home, you actually get in with a code. So we never talked to anybody that owned the house.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. When we got there was a code to get in, and the air system was all automated and stuff. They had they actually had a camera on the front door.
Oh, okay. So it was one of those.
Yeah. They had a security system, and overall, I really enjoyed the experience. I really had no qualms with the home itself. The amenities looked good, very comfortable for all of us that went. The only caveat to that is the neighborhood was not the greatest. Now,
was it?
Yeah. Now that being said, I had no problems with the neighbors, but after signing up, I guess I didn't do my checks and balances before I actually signed up for it. But I started looking around on Google Map, and there was a project's right beside.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, but
oh no!
Yeah,
wow.
But that being said, we had zero problems. Zero problems. So, maybe the neighborhood just looked a little bit worse than it actually was, but overall, a very, very pleasant experience. And I would suggest anybody who, especially if you're going with a group, it's probably a little more safer with a group than just one person. If you're going with a group, I would definitely suggest, go the Airbnb route. It's pretty cool.
Good deal. Okay, so it doesn't look like Casey's getting any love with Airbnb or AT&T and their new 5G service.
Yeah. Look like AT&T will launch their 5G service in Atlanta, Dallas, and Waco. So
Waco?
Yeah, Waco, which is really weird.
What is in Waco besides the Davidian compound? What else is in Waco?
Good question. I don't know.
Wow, that makes me sad and upset and mad. Like, we can't get no 5G love in KC. What's up with that?
That's weird. That's weird. Maybe they're just going with an easy market where they know they can establish that baseline of service pretty easily. But these cities are going to adopt the standards-based service for 5G, which there are no 5G devices right now, and there won't be any till 2019. But that being said, do we even know what 5G is? Do we know the definition of 5G?
Faster 4G?
Maybe I should look that up. Let me see if I can Google it real quick.
Actually, isn't LTE 5G?
LTE is 4G technically, I think. Fifth generation.
Because there was network. A 4G. There was a 4G before LTE. Because Apple launched the iPhone 4. And it wasn't on LTE or the 4 or the 4S. Maybe I'm thinking the 4S. But it wasn't on LTE, but it was a higher speed thing. They called it like the iPhone 4G. I can't remember. Never mind.
Well, looking on Wikipedia here, my handy dandy Wikipedia, some of the things or requirements that should define 5G standard are data rates of tens of megabits per second or 10 of thousands of users, data rates of 100 megabits per second for metropolitan areas, 1 gigabit per second simultaneously to many workers of the same office floor. I don't understand these. They're just
so
weird.
Your phone will be faster than your Wi-Fi connection?
Yeah, these are kind of. I'm not sure about these guidelines that are on Wikipedia. Coverage improved, signal efficiency enhanced, latency reduced compared to LTE. So I guess you said it best the first time. Faster 4G.
I think at this point they should just focus on reliability. I know 5G's buzzwords, like just to sell more phones and be like the newest thing. But at this point, I feel like because I swapped to AT&T a couple of weeks ago. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about. Well, I don't know if we had a podcast this day, but yeah, I joined the dark side. Me and my wife have iPhone 10s. Excuse me. Don't kill me, Apple people. Wow. We both have iPhone 10s because AT&T had a buy one get one special. So it was really one of those things where it was kind of a no brainer.
No, if you confused.
I'm kind of handset agnostic personally. I switch back and forth. My wife's become kind of like an iPhone person, so free phone. So there you go.
Hey, go for it, man. I'm like, hey, if you can spurge for the X, do it.
And I have to say, it's a really nice phone.
Oh, I'm a hater. Go ahead. I was gonna say, you enjoying that bezel-less future?
It's I thought the little what would you call it? The little thing at the top, the notch at the top. At first, I was really worried about it, but it's really not that bad. And the more you use the phone, it just kind of becomes invisible.
Yeah, that was most people say. Yeah.
You really don't notice it that much, and Face ID is pretty dang good. It's weird not having to use your fingerprint. But I mean, it works really well.
Well, what's the failure rate on it, or what's the success rate? I should say 98% of the time, 95%.
I'll have trouble using it. I don't have trouble with it in the dark. The only time I have trouble with it, and this is like just me splitting hairs, is when I wake up and like the bottom half of my face is like in the cover, still buried in the covers.
And I is this really your complaint?
What?
So is this really your complaint?
No, but what I'm saying is, so like the bottom part of my face, so like from like under my nose down, is covered in the cover. So I grab my phone and I pick it up to look at it, and just to see what time it is. And like when I wake up in the morning, when it wakes me up, the alarm, and it doesn't unlock because it doesn't see my whole face. So I have to pull like the covers down, and so it can see my whole face to unlock. And I have problems with it every now and then where it won't unlock my face, but I just swipe it again and it picks it up. It's actually really, really, it works really well, I guess I should say.
So
and it's powerful, and the camera is wonderful. And
have you tried the emoji or the what is it called?
Oh yeah, I have tried it.
Send me an emoji. I want to see it, man. I want to see it.
It works pretty good. I think I can send you one actually.
Yeah, can you send the Android?
Yeah, I think you can. It just sends it as an MP4, I think.
Cool.
Because I sent one to my wife when we just got the phones and the iMessage wasn't working correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Brown. That's weird. Okay, so yeah, it's a good phone. I'm not sure why your number's not in my phone, but
cool. Well,
there it is.
Oh,
I'm just going to send you a message real quick, but yeah, continue, please.
Oh, no. I was just going to jump down to the next story where apparently 50 Cent didn't have a stash of Bitcoin. Yeah, what is this all about?
Oh, 50. So, yeah, basically, there was a story came out a couple months ago where he sold one of his albums. What was the name of the album? Album like ever. But I know who he is, and he's popular, so I figured this was kind of relevant. What album was it? I guess that's irrelevant. But anyway, he enabled Bitcoin payments.
Yes.
On the album, and the album sold a certain number of Bitcoins. I think it was like Animal Ambition, that's the name of the album. But the album only sold like 200,000 copies. But this was back in 2010 when Bitcoin was not like that valuable still. And the amount of Bitcoin that he sold in albums would today be worth like $7 million. But wow. in his bankruptcy filing, he declared that he it never owned any Bitcoins.
Okay, so this is people researching the issue, right? Or did he come?
No,
out
so he filed in his bankruptcy papers, he filed a declaration on Bitcoins last week, and the reports, because the report circulated about a stash, so he filed his declaration saying, "I do not have any Bitcoins. The Bitcoins were cashed out, and I was given the equivalent of US dollars, basically when the people bought the Bitcoins. But it's one of those things where it's like,
yeah, is he like just not telling us?
like, I mean, to be completely honest, there's no way for us to know if he doesn't have any. So like, this is actually a smart thing for him to do, so he doesn't have to
pay taxes. Yeah,
he doesn't have to pay taxes on it, and it's not like, because I know he's going through some child support issues or something, which is why he filed. And this is just something that's he can keep it off the books. I mean, this is why Bitcoin was invented. So like, if he does actually have the Bitcoin, he's just playing a straight gangster here. I love it. So I hope that he actually has the Bitcoins, and he's just saying he doesn't.
What's even weirder is that 50 Cent is filing for bankruptcy. Didn't he do that 5 years ago too? I mean, what's going on?
I don't know.
Didn't he make $100 million off of vitamin water? What the heck? I don't get it. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Trump filed 3 times, so who knows?
Well,
strategic thing, I guess.
There you go.
But yeah, so 50 ain't got no Bitcoins, allegedly. All right, so moving on. It appears that CBS is continuing their online video streaming thing. So they're releasing a 24/7 streaming sports news network, CBS Sports HQ.
Wow.
And it looks like it will be available via CBS All Access.
What?
Well, actually, let me backtrack.
Make me excited.
So it says, which will offer 24-hour streaming coverage of news, highlights, and analysis for free online via connected devices and within the company's over-the-top streaming service. Oh yeah,
it will
be on CBS. Yeah, available on CBS Access.
Oh man, I can watch all the well, I guess it's on regular TV too, but all this Final Four.
If they actually have games on this, you better enjoy the Final Four, because this will probably be the last one for a while.
Oh, what?
I don't know if you've been keeping up with all the with the NCAA scandal, but
all the people getting in trouble.
There's this huge FBI probe, and they found out that pretty much all of the major college programs, like North Carolina, Kansas, Arizona, Duke, they were all caught up in this paying players to come to them to play.
It's been going on for years.
Basically, the Cliff Notes version is the FBI has concrete proof that it was happening, and they have coaches on wiretaps, and they have all this stuff. So, I mean, the hammer's about to come down hard on the NCAA basketball programs.
Is it?
And yeah, I don't.
But it's not just basketball, right?
Well, this one particular one is, from what I understand, the filing that they had, it pretty much pertains only to basketball. But I could be wrong about that. From what I understand, it's just basketball for now. But yeah, they're getting paid.
Yeah, I guess we can swing into Techpedition for a second. But dude, it's been going on for years, and and it just falls in this thing of, I guess the FBI is actually probing and figuring this out, but it's the last few years has been the reckoning years, man. It's anybody who's been getting away with BS for all this time, nobody's safe in no shape or form. You are being brought to task. And this is something that should have happened a long time ago, because it's just ridiculous. And we all know what's going on, but we just choose to turn a blind eye, and these coaches are getting millions of dollars, and it's so obvious this is going on, but
oh man, it's like Antoine Dodson said, we gonna find you. We gonna find you so you can run and tell that. Okay. Sorry.
Oh man.
But yeah, they going after everybody these days, man. Ugh. It got so bad with the harassment stuff that one of those guys in Power or something, they just went ahead and said, okay, I did this thing a couple years ago. Not proud of it, but yeah, he just went ahead and just told everybody what had happened. So
you got to get ahead of it. Get out ahead of it.
Dang, man, it's getting bad. Getting bad.
Man. But, self-correction is required.
Swipe is dead?
Yeah, man. Swipe, which is the whole keyboard, first Android, I think, keyboard that brought about the whole swipe thing, which I see why they're dead, because every keyboard has this now by default. So I guess they didn't patent it or copyright it, or it would be patent. They didn't patent it at the time, I'm guessing, because every other keyboard picked this up. I mean, you can see why they're not around anymore.
What?
I don't know. I don't know if Apple has, but I know every Google keyboard I've played with in the past few years has it built in.
Yeah, I just tried it on mine on the Apple, and it didn't work. So
it didn't work.
Apple has it. No, Apple doesn't have it, but
yeah, it's definitely on the Google keyboard or the Gboard. Swipe is noteworthy as a third-party smartphone keyboard that originated gesture typing rather than holding the phone in both hands and tapping on each letter. Swipe lets you hold your phone in one hand, hold a finger down on the screen, swing it around the keyboard from letter to letter, and lift off to spell a word. Swiping,
oh man,
called.
Like I still remember like when I was like first getting into Android, these were like it was like the thing, you know? So like it's kind of sad.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Android kind of pulled off what Apple often does with many of its popular apps. It just integrated it and
followed it up.
yeah, you know, I mean, and it kind of sucks for the third party app developer that, I mean, not only Swipe, but, you know, they've done it many times where it's been a very popular app and they just, you know, steal the functionality and put it in their first party applications, which I don't blame them, but still this kind of sucks for the up and coming developers and you know, you're on somebody else's platform, you kind of beholden to what they allow you to do. So
yeah, it happens, I guess.
Pull out a little liquor for Swipe.
Pour out some of my Gatorade.
Oh.
Okay, so moving on. So Intel, you know, unless you've been on a rock for the last couple months, you know, the Spectre and Meltdown, which if you check out the first couple episodes of season 3, Techpedition Podcast, we go into detail about what they actually do. So I won't do that again. But apparently the United States cybersecurity officials were not informed about Spectre and Meltdown before they leaked to the public.
See, I don't know if I really believe that. Not to say the story is wrong, but I mean, when this first came out, many of the tech elite kind of assumed that the U.S. government already knew about this and was taking advantage of it. Seeing as you would think that because of the intelligence that they possess, you think they'd be out ahead of this.
Yeah, this could be a cover up. I didn't think about that. But yeah, Congress sent all of the major tech companies letters. So, I mean, this is legit, at least from a official, quote unquote, official standpoint. Like, this is legit. So either this is a really, really big ruse or they really, really screwed up. I think either way, it's bad because if the government knew about this and they were exploiting it and, you know, Google just found out about it and leaked it, I don't know. The whole thing just leaves me feeling weird and violated.
I mean, are you required for 0 days to contact the government first?
I think the thing about this was that it wasn't technically, by the time we found out, it was not a 0 day. Like they found out about this back in June of 2017 is when they found out. And it was leaked like early January. But these companies, I guess that's the point. They've known about it for almost half a year. And nobody bothered to inform the U.S. government. So, I mean, if they didn't know, let's just assume they didn't know for a little bit. I can get why they would be upset because this exploit could have been used to hack into the U.S. government.
Yes. Yeah,
I say hack into our elections. I don't want to go there. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been exploited if somebody, the Russians knew about it and we didn't, or anybody. You know, if North Korea knew about this hack and we didn't know about it. You know, it could have been exploited. And there was like 6 months where the U.S. government was vulnerable because you have to imagine if the major tech companies here knew about it and all these chips are being manufactured in Asia and China and like Foxconn and like the other 3 factories that make all the computer parts now. Like, you know, if they didn't know, it just makes, it's a really, really bad look, I guess, if nothing else. Yeah,
I mean, I totally agree. And you pretty much know, we know that pretty much no information as far as manufacturing goes when it's offshore is completely safe.
Yeah.
As witnessed by the myriad of leaks on almost everything. So yeah, that's really weird that they would not disclose this to the U.S. government first. I don't know well, let me ask you this. We won't go into it again, but what is the state of Meltdown Spectre? What is the state as we speak on late February?
Well, I believe Intel and Microsoft, at least in Linux and Apple, I believe they've all released patches for the OS portion, because Meltdown can be patched. If I'm not mistaken, Meltdown can be patched in OS. Spectre requires an OS update and it requires a firmware update. From what I understand, the OS updates are in place for Spectre. Yeah, I got crossed up there for a second. Yeah, so the OS fixes are in place for Spectre, but the firmware updates are not as going on as swimmingly. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, Intel released a fix, a firmware fix, and it was crap, so they asked people not to use it. So
Yikes.
I think within the last week they released new firmware updates. So I mean, it's still an ongoing thing. I don't think we're completely safe yet. But the thing about Spectre is it's so hard to exploit that, we're probably okay, but there's still that opportunity, I guess.
Yeah, the story continues.
Yeah, so I guess for this last story, or the last story we have right now, Apple apparently is using the Google Cloud for their iCloud services.
Is this a new thing?
Yes, it is a new thing. So I believe they were using Azure. They were using Azure and AWS apparently, but now they've moved to Google Cloud.
So,
and go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I can understand the move away from Azure, maybe, but man, Amazon services are pretty much state of the art. That one surprises me.
Yeah. Especially with the adversarial relationship for at least phones, I just find it painfully ironic that they're using Google's cloud. I feel like they would be more comfortable using Microsoft's cloud since they aren't really a threat, at least as far as phones are concerned. But Google may have given them a really good rate or something. I don't know, but it just seems odd and weird that they're using Google Cloud for their.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but also, I mean, they're running their cloud business as a legit business, and if there's any signs of any impropriety on their part, just because Apple is using their service, it would destroy Google. So I mean, they're just going to treat them like another customer. And go ahead.
Accidentally lost all of Apple's data. Oops.
And
Sorry.
they would own Google after that. So I mean,
we will apologize profusely.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's weird, but that is a tier of their business. That is a cloud provider, and they're going to treat them like another customer. Now,
yeah. And all jokes aside, like these companies are so huge that Google's phone division and the cloud division probably don't even talk. They're probably not even on the same campus.
Yeah,
so It's funny thing to joke about, but I really don't think it's going to be that big a deal, honestly. It's just, just the optics of it seem kind of weird. If you're an Apple or Google fanboy, either way, the optics on this are kind of weird. But, it's kind of like Microsoft and Apple working together in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's just, something just feels wrong about it.
Like, we hate you. We're going to use your cloud service. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, you have to watch the press conference when They had Macworld, and this was like around the time Steve Jobs came back to Apple, and he's trying to save Apple because they're about to go under. And he's doing his keynote, and then like Bill Gates popped up on the screen.
Yeah,
and they talk about how
I've seen that.
They talk about how the Mac's gonna have Office apps. Oh my god, it's the funniest thing because the crowd is just so like they don't even know how to feel about it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. That was pretty good. That was pretty darn good.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's it for our news, unless you have news or anything else you want to discuss, brother?
Off the beaten path, there's a Full Metal Alchemist movie on Netflix.
Oh God, is it the Japanese one?
It's the Japanese live action, and I won't get into many details, but it wasn't great. But you know,
I don't have to watch it to know.
Look, me not being a huge Full Metal Alchemist guy, it was palatable.
Dude, watch Brotherhood. That's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's the best, one of the best anime series of all time. But I'm always reluctant to watch Japanese anime in general. But I just think, I might have talked about this before. I think it's painfully ironic the way people raise the fuss about Ghost in the Shell. But then again, there's Japanese people playing Full Metal Alchemist characters who are like it basically takes place in Germany. Like that's basically where it takes place. So it's just funny.
Yeah, it looks weird, dude. It looks so weird. It looks so weird, man.
I just thought that was a horrible choice for live action to begin with, because you have so much stuff that's not easily replicated in live action. Or people, you think people would take something that's a slam dunk, like Cowboy Bebop. Slam dunk live action movie. Yeah. Nobody's made it, but we get an FMA, Death Note's, but it's like Death Note makes more sense than this. So I don't know.
Well, and it's obviously an all CG Al, which is just weird. It's just weird. I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh man,
Well, I guess that's my parting gift, and also listen to the STD podcast.
Yes, and discussing Who in comics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have anything. Just stay tuned next week. I really want to have another geeky, techie discussion really soon. I don't know what I want to talk about though.
We threw some things on the table. Possibly is I think we brought up quantum computers and. Did we have another? It seemed like we had something else. I'm not remembering.
There was another idea, but.
Yeah, but
me at the moment, I have to look through the Slack.
But guys, if you have suggestions on a particular tech topic that you want us to talk about, send that to fans@techpedition.com and we'll, research it if we don't already know.
And send us, if you have any questions, want to know what we think about something, or if you're curious about a topic and you want us to explore it, to inform you, or, just to give you our take on it, feel free to send us an email about that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I guess that's it for this week, guys. We'll see you next week.
Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition. Very, very quick. Techpedition.
I can't beat that. I just smells burnt and dusty.
Hey guys, don't miss an episode of the Techpedition Podcast. For more information, go to techpedition.com/subscribe. TECHPEDITION.com.